Okay, howdy gamers. Today I wanted to talk to you about the best possible mouse you can get. Now, up until I think a couple months ago when I bought this thing, I thought, much like mechanical keyboards or the keyboards you own, that mice were this very subjective thing. It's what you personally enjoy is going to therefore be the best thing. And so kind of like with keyboards, I went down this rabbit hole with mice, and I ended up building my own at one point pretty much, which was a Zowie FK2. I put on skates, I replaced the cable, I was in the process of replacing the sensor, and that's what I heard about this next mouse. So now I think it's objective truth that this is the best mouse you can buy. It did everything correct, in such a way that there is not even, in my opinion, a mouse that competes with this right now because of how amazing it is. It's every single possible thing, and if you get to the point where you're building a mouse, you have to know about every single specific part so that way you know what you're going to want to get and what the best thing to get there is. If you're building it, you could be fucked enough to do something like that, and you might as well know the exact correct thing you're going to want to do. Now, while some of it still kind of can be subjective, I think they chose the objectively correct subjective thing in such a way that the likelihood of people liking a certain way is what they chose the most likely. In particular, the body of the mouse, and the style, such as like ambidextrous right or left-handed. And so I'm going to go ahead and show it, and then get into why I think it's so amazing. It is the Cooler Master MM710. And I've got one right here. I think it is the best possible mouse you can buy, and I'm gonna get into that. Alrighty, so I've got their Amazon pulled up, and I just think that they do such an amazing job marketing their mouse, and the amazing job of what they do, and it goes into, honestly, why specifically it's an amazing mouse. So just to start off, we're gonna just go to the first one, because these pictures almost format the exact way I'd want to talk about this mouse. So this first one right here is the weight of it. Now, if you use a mouse, that the lighter it is, that means the less friction you're going to be having with your mouse pad. And the thing about friction, it isn't quite the weight of the mouse. That's something different. The friction means that it's not going to skip over things. That means that this is the most likely thing you can use, so that way it will slide as perfectly as possible. So there's less likelihood that it's going to skip over that exact pixel you need to fuck some bitch's ass right in their forehead on CSGO or something. And then the next one is the cable. So this ultralight cable, I should also say something too, the parts they use are from the best people that make them. It's not like they're just in-house making all these things, which could have also been okay. They're getting it from these best possible sources. So the ultralight cable are people in Britain, that's where mine got shipped from, and it's essentially a bungee cable. And what this bungee cable allows, and I will demonstrate the mouse later, what this bungee cable allows is that there's no tug. So like a lot of times when you pull your mouse and you get caught on your desk or something, or something else, when you pull this, it'll make sure that while the wiring is still contained, it's not going to, like, the cable pulling in any way, unless it was just pulling the length of the cable, it's going to not affect your mouse at all. Whoops. So, and then the design of it. So, they do two different things here. This is a medium arch. So I keep trying to display it while trying to hold the same picture. So it's a medium arch, and the reason that's pretty decent is because there's two different camps. There's low profile, and then there's high arch, and then there's just normal. That's the most time the varieties you're going to see them in. Like the MX518 Legendary by Logitech, I think is a good example of a good high profile mouse you can get, and then a good low profile body is something like the FK2, like the one I was modifying. And also it's an ambidextrous mouse. Now, you would think that left-hand mouse would be better if you're left-handed, and that ambidextrous mouses are just the correct thing to use for trying to make a single product that is better for everyone. But it's this strange case where 90% of the time, if you're left-handed, you can actually grow a preference towards using an ambidextrous mouse. Left-handed mice have this thing where the way they curve out on the right side can be very, very uncomfortable unless you hold this mouse in this really strange position where your pinky's almost against the mouse pad, which almost no one does. So the majority of people, it's actually better that it's going to be an ambidextrous style mouse. So the next one is the 16K sensor. The best mice you can buy right now are using 16K sensors. So if you... So that's just amazing sensor. It's also not their own sensor. which is, it's odd. I just want to bring it up again that they're not just doing in-house what they think is best. They are finding the best person for every specific thing and having them do that, and they are combining it into this ultra mouse, with the exception of the actual body of it. But I trust Cooler Master. They make amazing computer cases. I don't think some sort of 3D printed shit is something they're going to be worried about making. Also, Omron switches. That's that. Omron switches are just, they're pretty common, and they're just, once again, the specific part, it's the best possible thing you can have in there. It has like amazing click lifespans, and they see that there, and also it doesn't have like these stick issues you'll see with the modern mice, and it's just crazy how good this video is. I'm not gonna watch their video specifically, but once I want to mention really quick that there are places like PC Master Race and Final Mouse. PC Master Race does this to much less effect, and I think they're fine. And then there's also Final Mouse, where it's the people who try to make the best possible thing. They will have this pretentious gamer marketing and then sell it for a fucking ridiculous price. But it's, no, go fuck yourself. You're trying to sell me a mouse, alright? Go neck yourself, Final Mouse, trying to tell me, oh, it'll ascend your soul. I'm already fucking ascended. I'm fucking God. Okay, that was really yikes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick just demonstration. Now my mousepad, and this does make a difference, is a Ninja Artisan FX. This is probably considered to be the mousepad that causes the least amount of friction possible. So there's this thing with the mouse, and you see my thick ass hands. And sorry for the very shaky camera. I'm holding the Logitech webcam. Is that you can barely tap it, and it goes fucking sliding. Now this isn't ever an issue with actually using the mouse, because you're always going to have a grip of it. But it did actually allow me to do one thing I picked up on recently, which is this motion, where I can use my middle mouse motion for a quick flick up. This isn't a very precise thing, but I have actually been using this in like CSGO Surf. But it's just, once again, and that's also fun, like that. I just love fucking doing it. So I felt like more people really needed to know about this mouse. I see stuff like Ninja Artisan actually do well, even though the company that makes them are schizophrenics having delusions of grandeur. Then places like Cooler Master, who are trying to make lightweight mice, and then using RGB like retards, and also having really bad stocking issues. I should say, if that you're interested in getting this mice, it's almost 100% chance you can. The issue with Final Mouse is they have printed runs, and PC Master Race is that they have stocking issues. Final Mouse is artificial scarcity, and I think PC Master Race, maybe just a small team. I'm honestly not that sure why they have bad stocking issues. Cooler Master's a big company, and they have said at a convention, and I like in an interview I saw this, where they're saying that they absolutely have no intention of having this to be falling under stock. They're going to keep it overstocked because they realize that the other problems other mice companies had, maybe with the exception of Logitech. So yeah, really, get this fucking mouse. Absolutely fucking recommend it. I don't even think there is anything comparable to how good it is. It's also $43. I didn't mention that earlier when Amazon pulled up. $43 is an incredibly fair price for a really, really nice. This is endgame too. This is the best thing you can buy. The best mouse you can buy is $43. And it's the thing about it is you can't even build a mouse this good. I tried. You can't get a 16K sensor into a custom body. It is a motherfucker. Maybe it's fucking possible. Oh, I should say too, this apparently just happened. I'm just now seeing this. This is new. I didn't wear this. They have an RGB variant. If you get RGB in a mouse that's supposed to be as light as possible, neck yourself. But still, if it's like a fucking requirement you have RGB, it is only 7 grams heavier. But regardless, thank you if you watched this. I would like to apologize about getting so angry about computer mice and Ninja. I'm sorry about getting so pissed about like Final Mouse and mice. I get a little passionate at times, but if you did watch the whole thing, and especially if you want to get this mouse, please, this is in no way whatsoever endorsed by Cooler Master. I don't even think this video will get that many views, but really do at least consider this mouse. It's ridiculous how much they got right.